Hello, welcome back to Hazel Jane Tarot. Today I have another very exciting Oracle deck unboxing. So this is the Mother's Wisdom deck by Nikki Dewart and Elizabeth Marglin, with illustrations by Jenny Kostecki Shaw. This is a deck that has been out of print for just a few years, because I feel like I remember this being available and in print, um, while I had already sort of started collecting decks. And I remember looking at it on Amazon and thinking, yeah, I don't really know if I want that. Fast forward a few years, and I'm the mother to a 2.5-year-old little girl at the moment. She's 2.5, and I found myself for the last year or so thinking I would really like that Mother's Wisdom Oracle deck, and I couldn't get it. And because it's out of print, people have been charging quite expensive prices for it. And I've eventually just bit the bullet and got it through a buy sell trade group on Facebook. And the guy that I bought it from was in California. So he has sent it over to me in Ireland. So I haven't opened it yet. This is me just looking at the box. I'm quite I'm quite excited, and obviously to see if the deck's all here and everything, because it's come all the way, secondhand from America. But it's in this massive big box, like that's my hand, so it's quite a big hard box. And then we have this book. Wow, there's quite a substantial book with it. It looks untouched, like the book looks like it hasn't been opened. And then the deck, it's one of those horrible 2-section boxes. So I'm not sure if there's any rhyme or reason to this. They maybe are not in order. I'll have to take a little look through later on with the book and make sure the cards are all here. So these are the backs. They're green with flowers on them. Nice. I think there are 2 editions of this deck, and this is possibly the second edition. I think the first one came in a square box. So as far as I know, I don't know very much about this one, really, and I kind of stayed away from looking at walkthroughs, so that I would have a nice surprise when I got it myself. My understanding is that this deck deals with sort of different goddesses and aspects of specifically mothering. So just having a wee look at the way the deck's divided up in the guidebook. So we have nature mother, animal mother, ancestral mother, and divine mother. Okay. So we have the nature mother, are aspects of nature. Animal mother, we've all different animals. And then ancestral mother, they're historical figures from different cultures by the look of it. And then we have divine mother figures from different cultures as well. So let's see. Lake, Kuan Yin. So these are all mixed up, obviously. Sarah. Horse. Rainbow. Mother Ming. That's gorgeous. Sorghagtani. I'm not sure how to say that one. Tolerance. Some of these are figures I'm not familiar with, so I'll have to read up obviously in the book and beyond to learn a bit more about them. Lakshmi, abundance. Star. River, I love that. I'm never quite sure how to pronounce that one. Ostre, Easter celebration. The goddess that Easter takes the name from. Snake. Life force. Lady Godiva. humility. Homia, I'm not sure how to pronounce that name either. Nurturing. Look at that. That is just beautiful. My breastfeeding journey's been over now for about a year, but having been through the odyssey that was feeding my daughter, it's beautiful to see positive depictions of breastfeeding in cards like that. Amaterasu Beauty. I think that same goddess is in another goddess deck with beauty as a keyword as well, so I need to have a look into her. I can't remember the story. Patience. Devotion. Oh, look at that image, it's beautiful. Smoke, gratitude. Sorry, I'm forgetting to read out the titles. I'm so busy just looking at it. Sappho, inspiration. Gorgeous. Pachamama, earth, honoring. That's beautiful. Artemisia, I'm not sure. Creativity. So that's one of the historical figures, I think. I have to look into her as well. Deer. Because it's lovely. I think that's one of the reasons I wanted this deck. From what I had seen of it, you know, that it depicted mothers with children, and I felt like it would be really nice to have a deck that I could use specifically to reflect on, you know, how I'm doing, as you know, how I'm getting along, both, you know, within yourself for your self-care as a person, as a mother, but also, you know, the dynamic with your child, and you know, bringing out different things to reflect on to do with mothering. I think that's sort of where I felt this deck would really have a role that no other deck that I have fills. White Buffalo Calf Woman for integrity. She's in a number of goddess decks that I have as well. Pearl. Authenticity. Mirror, self-love. Cave for receptivity. Bear for protection. Oh, look at the bear protecting the little kids underneath. The eyes on the trees are watching the children as well. Lioness for courage. Ocean, source. Oh, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. And I love that this is a bigger, like the ocean is holding the woman, but it also makes me think of a mother with an older child, you know, like you know, my little girl is 2.5, and as I hold my baby, you know, she's got so long, you know, they used to just fit in the crook of your arms, and now they could just get longer, but you still want to be held, you know. And it's making me feel quite emotional, actually. Gorgeous. Monkey, trickster. My little girl's favourite toy or favourite teddy is a monkey. Her comfort object that she's attached with is a monkey. So that makes me think of her too. Moon. The Pythia. I love that. I've been to Delphi, to where the Pythia was the oracle. Kunandera, healer. I'm only familiar with this word from the Herbcrafters Tarot. Uses this as one of the court cards because it's from the tradition that the Letitia Guthrie, the writer of that deck, and that's from her tradition. So I have to have a wee look at that again. Dolphins. Sorry, I hope I'm not speaking too quietly. I find when I watch my videos back sometimes that as I start looking at the cards, I get into a kind of a my voice gets quieter and quieter as I'm sort of reflectively looking at the looking at the images, and then that's no good for people listening. Sorry. So dolphin, child within shell, midwife, tree of life, connection. There's a lot of cards in this deck, or feels like a lot. Elephant, strength, mountain. Oh, I love that as well. Presence, where the mountain is holding the people. Owl, awareness. Hummingbird, joy. Oh, there's Bridget. Peace. Bridget is obviously an Irish goddess, and one that I work with. So nice always to see Bridget. Butterfly. Oh, that's like a little baby wearing picture. The carrying the baby in front of you in the sling, in the wrap. I carried my girl for a long time. Still carry her on my back sometimes. If she will let me, if terrain requires it. Demeter. Loss. The flowers coming up in her footprints. It's gorgeous. Oshun. Harmony. Queen of Sheba. Wisdom. Wind. Adventure. Mary. Unconditional love. Is that like the Our Lady of Guadalupe version of Mary? I'm not sure. Swan. Grace. Turtle. For grounding. Oh, look, the woman on the back of the turtle. Queen Victoria. That's interesting. Unexpected. Kalima. Fierce love. Shell for listening. Okay, so I have to sort them into the set, the different suits, and have a look and obviously check all the cards are there, but it seems like they probably are. Now, I'm just going to pull one card and have a look at the book and see what sort of information the book gives us on each card. Crying out to be edged, although maybe in a green that matches. Although when you've paid, oh, I dread to tell you how much. Some people have been charging $200 for this deck. I did not pay $200 for this deck, but I did pay more than $100 US for this deck. So maybe I won't edge it. Maybe I'll take care of it. But I didn't get it as an investment or something to sell on or make a profit. Like, I got this to use and keep because it was one that I really wanted. There's the card. Let's see. Ocean. Oh, that was the one I was looking at before. So I'll have a look in the book and see what it says about ocean. So it's quite a substantial book, 168 pages. And there's a kind of a color coding on the pages for the different suits. So there's no number on it, so we'll have to just look within blue to find ocean. Sorry, I'm flicking. I can't find it. There. Okay. So we've got the very large image and okay, ocean source, and the shadow is neediness. Okay, so shadow is included for every card. So perhaps there is a suggestion of using reversed meanings with this as well. Okay, so there's a quote from Marianne Williamson. Just like a wave can't separate itself from the ocean, we can't separate ourselves from one another. We are all part of a vast sea of love, one indivisible mind, divine mind. When you pull source, it is time to stop everything, all effort, all thoughts, all concepts, and fall into the lap of the Great Mother. Every persnickety wave peters out in this vast ocean of being. Source reminds us of our true identity, where we come from, who we are, where we are going. It bathes us in the nectar of oneness. Ocean within, ocean without. no shore that separates. We are that magnificence. Just like the individual waves, you too can eventually fall back into ocean. All it requires, letting go of form and seeing essence. Jewellery made from gold has many names, such as ring or necklace, but it is all gold. In source, differences dissolve. In our wombs, our babies swim in the salty waters of the amniotic fluid. Children swim naturally in the ocean. They are more fully immersed in it than we are. You can taste the salt of source on their lips and feel its softness permeating their skin. As we grow older, we grow away, but never completely forget that experience of total immersion. When you feel the currents of ocean tugging at you, it's time to return to your true home. Fluent in the signals of absorption, children can tell when you have drunk from source. They look constantly for the portals that take them to the deep. Whatever you call source, love, being, God, make frequent excursions to her. For young children's emerging sense of self, mothers are their be-all and end-all. We are the source they come from and return to when they need anything. It's a huge responsibility mothers carry, we who already have our hands full. Strength for this arduous task will come from calling upon what mothers you. Our own yearning to be mothered never stops. When we have our own children, it intensifies. We all need to feel the cord tying us to source. Whenever you feel drained by neediness, your children's or your own, take a time out and dive back into ocean. You must become source yourself in order to become source for your children. Re-envision your link to source in the everyday and the unexpected treasures that wash up on your shores. Show children the sources of things, the trees that grow their fruit, the chickens that lay their eggs, the reservoirs that supply their water. Tell them about their countries of origin. Knowing where we are from makes us whole. Source gives us the resilience to shake off the occasional belly flop. When the ocean hears that the fish in the water feel thirsty, she laughs. We are all neck deep in source, yet crying out for more. Fulfillment lies in recognizing the fathoms within and delving into the ocean of your very being. Wow. So, and just right on cue, I can hear on the monitor my little one has awakened from her nap. So I'm going to have to go and tend to her. So this, I think, is a deck for mothers, or maybe somebody who's working with kind of their own relationship to the idea of mother. Might be powerful, but it seems to be very much written for people with children. And I won't be able to go into it any further at this time because I have to go and attend to the child. But if you've watched this, thank you so much for watching it with me. I'm very excited and quite moved to have finally got hold of this deck. And I'll see you again soon. Bye.